Hello, welcome to Cody's Corner, another blog of valuable information to help you get a better handle on your mind, life, body, and spirit. So that was actually pretty cool. I might actually use that as an intro, but I am doing a vlog instead of a blog today because I didn't feel like typing and I love vlogging. So I have a few ideas, but I think I'm going to start with this one concept I recently learned about through Jordan Peterson. And it's this idea of openness. So if any of you know me well, you know I'm a pretty open person. I love to share, and that's one of the major 5 personality traits. There's also agreeableness, conscientiousness, extroversion, and neuroticism. So we're all gonna have like parts of these different pieces in us. And if you're an artist, you're probably watching this. I just feel like open people probably watch this with me. Otherwise you wouldn't be interested in watching this at all. So you probably have a lot of openness like I do. And one of the great things about that is that you're going to be really creative. You're going to try a bunch of weird stuff out, and you're just going to you'll be open, open to travel, open to talking to people. But one of the problems, and I feel like it's a really big problem for me, is that I love to do so many different things that I don't focus and I don't get as much, I guess, expertise in an area, because I'm all I can do a lot of different things. Like you saw, I did this fucky mural, and then I have kind of a weird one here, whereas I always admire those artists who have one character and they draw them over and over again in new ways, and it becomes its own special vessel for creativity. And so that was something I had to deal with throughout my life, is this wanting to do everything, pretty much whenever I see something new, I want to try it. And I'm betting you have something similar, what? Singing sounds awesome. Or, finding vintage clothing sounds awesome. And I'm going to talk to you about what I do to focus down so that I can actually get stuff done and be successful in areas. And pretty much how you do that is, 1, be aware of this tendency. You just have to be aware. 2, you make some decisions. In this lifetime, maybe we do get to do a lot in a lifetime. And I've heard, I'm in my 30s, and I've heard that throughout our lives, we're gonna feel like we have multiple different lifetimes. But if possible, just choose to focus. Make almost a promise to yourself, and be I am doing this now. Parts of me want to write funky country songs, and I'm not saying I can't do that, but I don't want to use that as an excuse to not learn to become a better artist, because that's a goal in my world. And so just catch yourself. It's really, self-awareness is going to be your best tool for combating this. And I'm definitely for experimentation, but what I'm not for is that it can often be used as we get so close, we love to, our self-sabotage is a real thing. And one of the easiest ways to do that, if you're a really highly open person, is to be getting at that peak where you're you've almost pushed the train up the hill where you're gonna be an expert, and you're I'm gonna go try this now because it's boring to you or whatever. So don't fucking do that. Just don't do it. It's pretty easy not to do it. You just make the choice. And the hardest part is starting. That's a cliche and it's real. You're oh, I don't feel like drawing right now. Just draw. Or just practice writing that song, or get some thrifting. If you are a vintage reseller, just go and just do it for 5 minutes, and then you really start to get the momentum again. And so I'm here to tell you can push through all this. Another thing I want to talk about that's kind of interesting is that openness and neuroticism don't necessarily cancel each other out. So if you are a highly open person, you can also be really neurotic, and that can lead you to wanting to protect yourself more, but then you have this other trait. So I guess I'm telling you that because I have that issue sometimes, and what I've had to learn to catch my words or just not share too much, because then I overthink it later and freak out, and that can just take away from your creative energy. So don't be afraid. And also, probably you're judging yourself harder than anybody else is. If you are coming at the world kind and aware, then people are gonna love you. You don't need to be afraid. So I love you. I'm telling you that now. Actually, I've taken that back. If aware is the key word there, I feel like a lot of people are not self-aware. I'm probably one of them in some areas, but I'm doing my best. So I think that one of the biggest tragedy I can't say that word, but a few of the only people I really dislike are people who actively lie to themselves about what they're doing. So to your own self, be true. Like, you got this. If you can know you're not being an asshole, by that I mean don't pretend you're not being a jerk. Take responsibility for your openness, for your neuroticism, and then I think you'll have a good life. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. That's what's on my mind today. It's good to see you again. I'm gonna keep doing Cody's Corner.